Okay, what's going on, boys? Let's go with a weekly tactic update. Remember I told you that every single week I'm going to give you a different variation? This might be one of the best that I ever create. So it's important to save this tactic because this tactic will probably be one of the better ones until the end of the year, as long as there's no major gameplay patches. We go over the 4-2-3-1 wide, 4-4-2, 4-2-1-3 as well. I'm going to show you that. So for the defensive variation, I've gone with this one. Look, I think you can become more defensive. So I've left it like this so you can choose. You can put them both either on inside forward or you can put them on winger. Winger will just help you a bit more defensively as you have that player to just through ball to down the wing. And they can help a bit more defensively. So winger is what I've done. I did on winger balanced. Playmaker on cam. Both CDMs on holding defend. Left back, right back on defend. And that's basically it. And a build-up style, I've just gone with balanced, and then I've gone with a 31 depth. So this would just be purely a defensive formation. Yes, you could argue you could even go here to like a 4-3-3 with the center mid and put the center mid on holding. But the reason how I've made this formation is that it can be a defensive formation, and it can also be a formation to start the game with. So you have that variety yourself. So with a 4-2-3-1 wide, and that is why I don't have Shadow Striker on the cam. So this would be a defensive formation and one to close the game out. That's the code Delta Capital Hotel 1 X-Ray Zulu X-Ray Juliet November Capital Zulu Tango. So that would be the 4-2-3-1 wide, and everything is basically as you see it. Now we're going to go over to the next one. This is where things get a bit spicy. So do you want to get better at FC25? Now, before you skip ahead, what if I told you if you joined my FC school and you didn't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money? I can say this because I've been running my FC school for many, many years, and thousands of students join and even stay on. We go over complete in-depth gameplay tutorials showing you both the theory of something and the gameplay examples using real-life examples in a structured format that's like a course. The videos are on a systematic learning system teaching you everything from the core mechanics, the basics to the meta, so you can get better as a whole, with explanations that go beyond the scope of my YouTube channel. FC School has already started with every single tactical layout, focuses, meta cards, and learn the meta before it even becomes the meta. So come join thousands of others in a mature audience community for those looking to get better at FC25, patreon.com/nilguides, or click the link down below. Now, when you join, we already have a library of hundreds of videos, more than my YouTube channel, in fact, with new videos on FC25 getting constantly added so you'll never run out of content. The biggest mistake people do is they spend thousands of dollars on FP points every year thinking this will make them better, but it won't. But now it's time for you to make that change. Don't forget, if you don't get better after 1 month, just send me a message and I'll refund your money. That's the Nil Guides guarantee. Links down below in the description, patreon.com/nilguides. I wanted to incorporate right now the realistically top 3-4 formations inside the game. You have the 4-2-1-3, 4-4-2, 4-4-1-1, and you have, of course, the 4-2-3-1s, the variations of them. The 4-2-3-1 is, actually, I'll get onto that in a second. Let's just keep this seamless. With this new style that I'm doing. Okay, so we have the second tactic. So this could also be one to start the game with. To be honest, equally they're the same. The only difference is that you have left wings and right wings in this formation. So this would be the one you could either start the game with or play it. Now, the only thing that I changed, so this is what I'd recommend for most people, you can see is virtually the same. The only difference is you've got left wings and right wings. The changes that I would make, however, is I would go with a Shadow Striker attack on my cam, because I feel like that second striker, you know how I made my original 4-2-3-1 narrow? That's the way that I'm making this formation. And for me, if you're asking me about the best and most overpowered AI movement, I would say it's inside forward roaming. Yes, that means that you kind of ideally want, so for this actual roaming to work even better, you'd ideally want someone to make that run on the side or out wide to push that play inwards. But what I do is I always just trigger the left back and right back myself with the L1 button. So that's the way that I do it. Same thing with the CDMs. So these are tactics. I've got counter. I think the build-up play style counter is the best for all. It's only on the defensive ones I really use balanced. And then I've gone with the defensive approach of 45. You can always adjust this and fine-tune this for yourself. But I think 45 is good. I've already made a video on why I'm choosing 45. But that's the code. Kilo, hashtag, exclamation mark, capital Echo, capital Delta, 7 for Quebec, uniform, golf, and capital Echo. So that would be effectively a formation to start the game with. So you got one to start the game with or one to close the game out. And you got one to start the game with and one to start B throughout the entire game. So let's say if I'm 1-0 down, or let's say I'm 2-1 down, I may still stay on this formation. To be honest, I would say out of all the tactics you're going to see here, you might use this one the most if you're asking me. So the idea is, look, we're just going to go, as you said, progressively more attacking. You see, we've gone from this And to be honest, just to fine tune this, if you want to, you could even put build up on the playmaker. But I think personally, people are going to say, is that not more defensive? I think it is. But personally, I want to still be able to use this formation, because sometimes I might just want my left mid or right mid to just come back and help me a little bit and not be as on stay forward equivalent on inside forward roaming. That's the only downside with roaming. They basically stay forward as opposed to coming back. So you have to make those fine tune. It's like getting in a car and the seat of your car. So we might have a car, but you might have a different seat position. So that's up to you what you want to change. Okay. Then we're going to go over to the 4-4-1-1. So the real difference between this formation and this formation is that you're going with center mids. So you don't have CDMs anymore. You haven't got the defensive stability as you did with the other two formations. You have center mids. Now, what that means is, naturally speaking, that you're going to be much more attacking, you're going to be higher up the pitch. And we put inside forwards on the left mids and right mids because there's no inside forward roaming. Now, had there been inside forward roaming, I would probably put inside forward roaming on the left mid and right mids. But that is only an instruction, or whatever they call a focus, for the left wings and right wings, whereas these are left mids and right mids. So we go with advanced forward still. The cam, I still go with Shadow. I think Shadow Striker is the best, but again, feel free to change to Playmaker if you really do struggle defensively. I think 4-4-1-1 is a high level formation. I think the weaker players, to be completely honest with you, you have to change. You know, put Playmaker on this player, be a bit more defensive. Inside forward, left mid and right mid is what I've gone with, and left back and right back on defend. Now, what I do is I trigger both my left center mids and right center mids myself manually. That is what I trigger, if you're asking me personally speaking. But I do like to experiment. I normally bring on someone like Zidane at this point. Ignore Guijarro, I'm just testing some things out with her. But I like to put, for example, a playmaker attack. Now, if I release this formation like that, everyone's going to start crying, oh my God, this formation made me lose, when realistically it's their gameplay. So that's why I'm going to release it like this. And those who are at this part of the video that know, you can change it. So in case you're wondering about the actual defensive approach, we go on 45. Again, you can make this more attacking, but I think 45 is a good balance to stay with. You don't want to be uber attacking. I know there's technically two ways to defend this patch. There is the 67 to 70 depth, which I actually use quite a lot. It's kind of like attack is the best form of defense, and keeping the ball, as from possession point of view, in your opponent's half. But you have to be really high level to play that. You know, if you get countered, you're going to get destroyed, especially with a lack of CDM. So I'd rather be conservative here than go crazy. But that's the code, capital Mike, capital Alpha, $, capital Alpha, 6 Hotel, and capital Sierra, capital Whiskey, hashtag Sierra. So that would be the code for that one. So the idea is you incrementally go up. So as I said, 4-2-3 on wide, got the CDMs. Now we've got left wings and right wings. You could put the inside forwards on left wings and right wings. And then we have the 4-4-1-1, where the center mid sit a bit higher. It's a bit more attacking in the midfield. And then we're going to go over to the ultra attacking, if you want to call it ultra attacking. I don't even know if I want to call it ultra attacking, but yes, it's the attacking variation. This is the 4-4-2, and that's the real benefit of, like, you need to find a player that can play a cam and a striker. I've put this Dembele Team of the Year card that I got, Evolution. As you can see, none of my left back and right backs are going forward anymore. I don't think you need fullbacks to join the attack anymore. You can always trigger these players manually, but I don't even think you need players to go forward anymore. I think most people struggle so bad defensively. You only might need a player to overlap if you're playing like pro versus pro, or maybe something like that, and you know someone's weakness. But for the average weekend league, I don't think you need it. And then I've got a fullback defend, both left back and right back. One, the center mid is on holding center mid. The other one, I've got a number 8 Tonali with a pinged pass, so he plays a playmaker attack for me. And both the left mid and right mid on inside forward. And then I have one of the strikers on Poacher and one of them on advanced forward. I think Poacher is even more effective post-patch, and I think is actually better than advanced forward. So when I've got a 2 striker set up, one of them always is going to be on Poacher for me after I've done my testing. I just like the runs that they're making behind. You got a Poacher plus, even better. So you could argue this would be the formation to use, let's say, if you're losing 2-0. Now, the thing is, counter, and then this is very important. The thing is that, yes, this is a formation to use when you're losing, but this is not like pre-patch. You know, before in pre-patch, when it was 2-0, you basically locked the game out. 2-0 means nothing now. So with this formation, it's more if you want to press your opponent, not be ultra attacking. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's more if you want to apply pressure and you want to win. Maybe you're 2-0 back at 70 minutes, but you don't need to go completely crazy. You can always use the team press, the deep power tactic manually. and that's the code Foxtrot 44 capital Bravo percentage and hashtag $sign Papa Bravo capital Delta. So that is the setup for that one. And as usual, all these tactics should be updated on my website. So don't forget any. You can just type this in your browser. In fact, let me just quickly just show you now before I forget. You can literally type it like this. Go like this. Type in neal.to/tactics, or you can type in fcrolls.com. Whatever website you want to use, they both go to the same thing. This is the same thing, and this should be updated in about. By the time this video is uploaded, it should be updated over here. But anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you want to get better at FC, you can come to my Patreon, so patreon.com/NeilGuides. Link is down below in the description. If you don't get better after 1 month, we will refund your money. That's the Neil Guides guarantee. Follow the structure, improve your defending, we'll guarantee you'll improve. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace.